Welcome back to the Learn to Code podcast. Today's episode I am recording in my workplace. I am currently working as a janitor and as a watchman, and I am covering the night shift. So, pardon me because you are going to be listening to the passing cars all the time. So, I'm sorry about that. So, what I've been doing this last weekend and this couple of days is learning a lot about video editing, and basically I want to develop my own YouTube channel, and I want to help my boss create his and develop his channel. Um, so I want to talk about the challenges that I've been facing lately. First, I thought that I was going to be able to apply a lot of techniques that I've been learning at Udemy about video editing, yet the hard truth is that I'm really bad at video editing. I have tried a couple of pieces of software. Those are for free basically at Linux. I've been working in Linux because rendering in Linux has proven to be way faster than in Windows, and because it's basically free in both senses. So I've been working with Canon Life, which is very easy to use, and I've been making basic editing jobs on Canon Life for a couple months. But if I want to do something more professional, I am afraid that Canon Live is not the piece of software for me to use, or many things that I'm trying to do are not so easily done there. So that's one problem I do have with that. The second problem I do have with that is creating animated text transitions, or just making some floating text appear at the video. That seems to be way harder than I believe it to be. I guess that I don't really know how to do those things. I've been studying software development, so I've been focusing past year and half this year on learning web development specifically. So video editing skills are not my forte, may I say, yet I am willing to learn. So I am trying now something called Blender. Blender is a 3D animation and 2D animation software. So I've been trying that. It does include a video editing software. It does have a specific name, I don't remember. I think it's called the Blender Video Sequencing Editor, something like that. So I've been using that one. Yet the user interface, I just don't know how to do basic stuff there. I find myself a very hard time doing basic stuff that I was able to do in Canon Life quite easily. So, for example, in Blender, the only videos I am able to do right now are for my podcast. I do have a podcast called Learn to Code. And what I do basically is just record my podcast at Udacity, in Audacity, and I record my podcast in Audacity. I clean the audio. I create my chapters for my podcast. Everything is well and done, and I just export my podcast in MP3 and upload those files into Anchor. That's the platform I'm using for making my own podcast. Pretty straightforward. Editing and doing advanced stuff in audio using Audacity is not as hard as I believe it to be using Audacity. So I do have a lot of experience there already. Yet it's not so easy to do video editing and simple stuff, just like importing audio tracks and including them into the project are not as easy to do. The first problem I faced was the fact that for some reason when I import a track, an audio track or a video track into the video editor in Blender, when I click play or try to render the result just to try it out, the render version or the playback version of the video was really short. It was really short. I didn't know why for a while. Yet it seems like the duration of the video is established in a property of the video itself. So I need to open a property panel somewhere and specify, you know what, I want so many frames on this video. So I need to define beforehand how many frames long is the video going to be in Blender. If I don't do that, then a predefined very short amount of frames are going to be rendered only. And even if I include an audio track or a video track longer than that, the size of the video is going to remain the same no matter how many clips do you import. So the duration is not going to be extended automatically or automatically, may I say. So you need to say, you know what, I need this video to be this many frames long. And listen to me saying this. I'm saying so many frames long because all these values are not inserted as seconds, are not inserted as minutes or milliseconds. They are inserted in frames. So it's not really hard to do the math on frames because the video that I am using for those podcast episodes runs at 25 frames a second. That means that every single second is composed of 25 individual frames. So knowing that, I know that 2 seconds are going to become 50 frames. So this way I can basically say, you know what, this video, the audio of the podcast is, who knows, as a minute maybe. So I know that I just need to multiply the amount of frames for the amount of seconds that I'm going to be running the audio. I don't even need to do the math because when I'm working in Blender, I get to see the start frame and the end frame on every single audio clip or video clip, so that helps me a lot. But I don't know, man. I think that just explaining that just calls to my attention that just adding a clip into the video, either audio or video, is not really extending the duration of the video, and that's I don't know. I don't think that's really useful anyway. One thing that I tried to do for like an hour and a half and I failed to do so efficiently was something really simple for me. Just put some text upon the video. So if you see my previous videos on my YouTube channel, you're going to see that those videos are basically just a recorder playing back, a cassette recorder playing back or recording. It's just an animation. And I managed to put some text over the audio cassette, referring to the name of the episode maybe, or naming the cassette like in the old days when you just write something on an audio cassette and you were just recording something. I just want the name of the episode there, and adding that text proves to me it proves to be really difficult. I tried to create a little image of the text on Paint and then create a PNG file with transparency, but positioning that was not easy as drag and just click and drag and just let it be. No, you need to basically just manage the X and Y position in such a way that you are positioning the image there, and resizing is even I didn't know how to resize. Okay. I didn't find out how to resize that, and positioning was really hard. I tried to create a PNG file with in full HD, so I can. It was pretty cumbersome, and then on the new version of Blender, I managed to find how to include actual text. So it's on a menu called Add. Then you look for text, and finally you get to write something there. Yet when I tried that, I was on Windows, and if I want to change the font on Windows, it does work. Yet when I tried to do the same thing on Linux, the font menu wasn't filled with anything, so only one font was chosen, and I don't know why it's not showing any other font there. So it was really weird for me. Although the rendering was quickly done on Linux, way faster, like around 20% faster for the more or less the same amount of video time. So rendering on Linux with the same software seems to be way faster. I don't know why. But one YouTuber mentioned that doing that rendering on Linux tends to be a little quicker. I don't know exactly why. So that's all of my skills on the video editor so far. So my plans are, well, I am trying to learn Blender as a video editor, but I only had found one single course. I'm going to link it on the description of this video. One single course for Blender video editing, and sadly it's an outdated course. So the course is outdated. That means that the new version, which is really different from the previous version, they are so radically different that I don't feel comfortable getting that course. So maybe a course with the current version, I'm going to get that for sure. Sadly, I haven't found such course yet, and I've been looking for it on Udemy, on Pluralsight, on LinkedIn Learning. Maybe I should try Audacity, maybe Coursera, some other places to see if I can actually find courses on video editing for YouTube, or just video editing plain using Blender Video Editor. So I've been working hard to find tutorials on YouTube, which I've been finding. I had found a couple of channels, YouTube channels that are really useful, and I've been learning a lot there, but I haven't been able to actually do any of those things, because most of those tutorials are for the previous version of Blender, and I just don't know where those options are in the new version. So the new version is so radically different for me compared to the previous version, and I haven't used the previous version ever. So I don't really know where things are, but I guess that as time passes by, people are going to be releasing tutorial videos for Blender video editing, and maybe I can use them, who knows. And basically I'm just right there. I am watching, I'm going to be watching today a couple of courses on the Udemy platform. I'm going to be watching how to create video coding tutorials at Udemy, and another one which I don't remember. Those are free video courses at Udemy, which belong to a collection of video courses that are being published by the Udemy user. So basically these are free video courses directed at creators to show them how to actually just record and edit their own video courses. So that's a skill set I want to learn, because sometime in the future I want to be creating my own courses for Udemy, Probably this is just the start of my career as a YouTuber and a video content creator in general. I do really like to code. However, it's a bit I'm getting a very lonely experience, and I figured that creating short videos, well, quote unquote short videos, because I've been talking for around 15 minutes, maybe making a YouTube channel is going to allow me to record my experience with it and probably improve my podcast audience. Now I can link them to this YouTube channel. Probably they are going to be commenting something on the YouTube comments there. Well, I've been talking about 16 minutes already. This is my first talking video on my phone. I'm using a lavalier mic, which I think is going to pick up everything going on because there are passing cars in front of me. I need to keep close watch of the gates of the main entrance. So I'm going to be close by to the street, so a lot of cars are going to be passing by, never mind that. Yet I managed to record my first YouTube video here, and thank you for coming in, and I hope to see you tomorrow or later, I don't know. Thank you and goodbye.